Hi, this is Abhimanyu in conversation with the reclusive Fahadh Faasil. Fahad, I know you don't like to do interviews, so thanks a lot for this. You prefer
Thank
to
you,
do your
Abhimanyu.
acting behind the camera and not speak about it. So thanks a lot for this.
No, I mean
I'll jump.
it's not about I don't like it. The thing is that even while I perform, I'm trying to figure out what I'm actually trying to do. And
Right.
when people ask me about what I did, it's almost like I have no clue and I have nothing to say. I mean, so it's not about my like or dislike. It's just that
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know how to deal with it. So
we'll try to keep it as different and not ask you difficult questions then,
yeah,
because
that'd be awesome. Yeah,
let's
that'd be
keep this
awesome.
as a conversation and not as an interview.
Please, please, please.
So Malayankunju, when it was conceptualized, when it was supposed to release, was supposed to be a direct OTT. But then you felt that people need to see it in theaters. Now, was that a commercial decision or an artistic one?
Very artistic,
Hmm.
primarily because uh, so like if I had an option, I would have released the first half of Malayankunju on OTT and the second half in theaters.
Right.
I mean, that's how I saw it. I mean, I thought the detailing of this film was very important. And, I mean, at least a theatrical experience was,
Hmm.
would be great for such a film. I mean, which is a musical, which is a survivor thriller. Uh, but I mean, the film can be enjoyed everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, so Kerala was going through a phase where people were actually sort of sort of not getting really excited about films that were that didn't have too much drama and things like that.
Right.
So it was also like testing the waters, like where we stand and how we stand, and so yeah, and um, I just want people to see the film, whether they watch it in
Yeah.
theater or home. Yeah, even if they're watching a pirated copy, I just want to make sure that they watch a good print. That's all.
Not that's the first time I've heard an actor say that, so it's a new thing. But eventually, it's about people watching it. That's what that's what
right.
matters, right?
That's it.
But
True.
now
Absolutely.
coming to the acting part, of course, the second half is as grueling, as intense as possible. And I'm trying to get into that comfort zone thing. How difficult is it to shoot in that confined space? And because acting is about reacting, but for half of the film, it's just you on screen with no one to react to. It's just you and your emotions and the surroundings. How difficult does that get?
So, I mean, one, the set was designed in such a way that the actor would actually feel a little claustrophobic while performing. It wasn't an accessible set. You can't just walk in and okay, fine, we'll shoot it. So it was more like I mean, one, it was on. I mean, every day there was we sort of pump in water,
Right.
and that sort of rearranges everything.
Right.
We had to pick it up from there. So and it wasn't I mean, I've never seen an entire crew going through such a difficult process capturing a film. I mean, the DOP went through major physical stress. The director went through mental stress. I mean, so we had a doctor on board. I mean, it was like that. I mean, so it was an experience. I've not done anything like that before, and I don't know if I would do anything like this again. So yeah, for me it was more like I've done films which were even more difficult than this.
Right.
So I see it as a process of my job, which you don't know the outcome. You don't know whether you were right or wrong. You're just doing what you think is right. So yeah.
And you did get injured, of course, despite all the precautions and safety. You just can't control it. It's about the force of nature.
Yeah.
Right? You can't.
That's right. Yeah.
And does that make it easier or harder? Because once you are in that physically grueling zone, you are feeling that stress yourself. So does that make it easier to get into character instead of if it was very accessible?
Good question, but see, the thing is, I look for the emotional travel,
Right.
So I don't look for the physical travel. That never works for me on screen. I mean, it is more of identifying the audience to the character, right, than your physical body or yeah. So for me, I try to continue the emotional drama. Like when I start shooting today, for me the challenge is to pick it up from where I left it yesterday. and it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy to maintain the same. It's not easy to be consistent also during a shoot which has so much of physical change going. So so I was focusing on that, whether the travel to Pune or if you look at the film, it's also a film about. I mean, even though we call it a survival drama, it is also a story about realizations. I think Ani's realization, or Ani's travel from grey to white or black to white. So I wanted to focus on that more than anything.
In a way, like they call it a coming of age film, right? That's what they term it as. So I also saw it as that to a little extent.
It's also like I said, the story of redemption. I mean,
right. Redemption. That's the word.
Yeah.
Ani is like a character who is not the traditional hero. He has so much bitterness in him. Of course, that's justified from his perspective, but he has so much bitterness, so much grey, that you can't like the character in the first 30-40 minutes of the film. You are not supposed to. Do you relish that more instead of playing the traditional hero, which is very white or very black, or traditional villain, which is very black? How do you relish these more human characters? Because that's how human beings are. They are annoying.
Yeah. So, like I said, the thing is, if you the Ani's character itself was so layered, I mean.
Yeah.
So it was more about someone who's so layered, so complicated, and he's also an escapist if you look at it. He's not actually addressing his crisis, So it was about an escapist getting trapped, So we wanted the character to have that kind of a journey, So we thought about actually telling the story in the linear way, starting with the wedding, and so that was easy, I mean. So it didn't, it didn't give any excitement to have the story told that way. So the idea was to make the journey, Ani's journey to Pune beautiful. So everything was set up to make that journey look convincing. Yeah. And primarily we wanted to make it look very real,
that's the point.
So if you look at Pune, there was not a spark of mud or dirt on her body when she was recovered. That was consistently told by everyone who was part of the rescue operation.
Right.
Whenever they've rescued a baby, the baby is actually been discovered just the way she was given birth. So that's been. I mean, we've interacted with few officers who are part of Pettimudi and another incident. So this was something they said. So it was more like there was something about that.
Yeah.
So these were all. So all these stories can be narrated in another way.
Right.
There are so many options, and so we chose to do it this way.
You have time and again sort of called yourself an actor and shied away from the tag of a star. Your fans might disagree, but you prefer to be an actor and a star. But why the distinction? Do you think the two words are separate, or do you think there's some sort of muddling between the two today?
Today, a star has to make a film and go around selling it. No, I don't want to do that. I let them just watch my films if it's good. I can't keep going around and saying, it's an absolutely brilliant film. Please watch it.
Yeah, right. I mean, the way I see it, an artist's job is to work and
so these are all options and choices people make. So today we are in a space where we can actually have the freedom. So every actor has this freedom to do it. So for me, I've not done a film that I think I should travel around and sell it or anything. My films are here, and so I like doing that.
Very not small scale, but very personal is what you're trying to say. Not about the commerce of it. Yeah.
None of the films finish on budget. It's all, nothing finishes on budget. Nothing finishes on timeline. So I have the convenience of doing that here. So might as well do it here. Yeah.
But over the last 1.5 years, your star status, if I may call it, has increased, courtesy your presence in some of the biggest films out there. So how do you see that? Because once you come to be seen in Pushpa or Vikram, I mean, these are big films, 400 crore, 500 crore, 300 crore. The numbers speak for themselves. So now people will want to cast you in films that are huge, that would require you to go out and sell them. How do you view that, being in that space?
No, fortunately, none of them have asked me to sell it. Kamal sir or Bunny or the producers of Pushpa, it was very clear. They wanted they wanted the the talent, and they just wanted to collaborate with me as an actor, and so so that's why I the discussion of actually going around promoting never came up. So it was easy.
Very happy with where you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that I wanted to ask between something like a Malayankunju or a Pushpa or a Vikram is that they're very diverse films. So it gives an actor the chance to do everything possible at every scale possible and in every language possible. I mean, the last 3 films that you've done are 3 different languages. Has it been conscious or accidental, breaking the language barrier, so as to say?
No, I've been very fortunate that way. Suku sir, Mr. Sukmar, Suku sir casted me in Pushpa saying that I've never seen you like this, so I want to see you like this. It was like that. And Lokesh also, when we were deciding on my costumes for Vikram, he was like, "Sir, I've never seen you like this. Wear this now." So I've been very fortunate to be collaborating with these filmmakers who wanted to present me differently or who wanted to explore what I've not done earlier. So, and that is my excitement, I'd love to do things that I've not done before. And
that is bigger than probably like it's a 100 crore film or a 200 crore film that the actor gets to do something. That is a cherry on top. That it's a big film is added advantage. But
so I've never asked the budget of Pushpa
right.
or anything. It doesn't really matter to me also. No. For me, what's it about is what I should be doing or what I can do, or and they respect all that. So that's why the collaborations have been very healthy, and we're looking forward to many more.
I'll tell you something I read a few weeks ago rather, which was a portal had done a story about you, that how 2021, 22 has been your year. And since it was written by someone who's not familiar with Malayalam cinema, that they referred to you as an unknown actor, something that your fans did not like. There were a lot of comments on that he's not an unknown actor and everything. So your fans are very, protective about you. But how do you see that in the North, now people are starting to recognize you? People who may not have seen your films for several years are starting to sort of see because of other films that have come recently. Have you thought about, like you said, it's been accidental. It's been very fortunate that you got films where you wanted to do something different. But the language barrier was something accidental. Do you see Hindi films also happening in the future if something comes across? Or has it not that happened to you? You have not gotten any offers from that industry yet?
Yeah, I mean, I've had few meetings and things like that. Maybe the right film has not come. I'm still looking forward. Let's see.
Did you find any differences working in different languages, or is it the medium of cinema, the language of cinema is the same?
It's the same. It's the same. Yeah.
No difference at all.
No. The people are the same. That's what I realized. I mean,
right.
Like Suku sir and I hit it off so well that I was literally working with a friend, and Loki is like a brother.
Right.
So it's all the same. And there's so much fun, and again, so much learning. And that is exciting. The idea of going there, collaborating, participating in a film like Pushpa or Vikram, it's to discover things that I've never experienced before, and that was plenty.
Like, I'll wrap it up with the final 2 questions. And you said something about learning something new, doing something new, and you come across as someone who likes to absorb what they are doing to get to the bottom of it, and then once the work is done, move on to newer challenges. So you don't like repeating characters a lot, which you'll be doing now, both with Pushpa and with Amar's character in the future. How does that happen? Because someone who likes to get newer challenges, to repeat characters, are you looking at their evolution journey, or are they different characters now because they have what they have gone through?
So I'll answer this in 2 different ways. One, Pushpa. So Bhanwar Singh Shekhawat, you've just met him. You haven't discovered him. Okay, so there's so much to learn and discover about him. That was just a teaser. So that was a request from Suku sir. I was only my character was supposed to come in the second part. And one morning he called me up and he said, "No, I want to give a teaser of you. Like, we'll just do one scene," which eventually became 2.5 scenes. So the idea was to just do one scene and so that character is so, I've not done a character like that. It's a wacky character. So as far as Pushpa is concerned, people have just met him. You're going to see him. Like, you're going to experience him in the next part. That's Pushpa. And Vikram. So Vikram's Amar's conflicts will keep changing.
Right.
So once the conflict changes, I mean, the pattern of playing it around actually changes. So
the response of the person changes, of course. Right.
Absolutely. So so next Amar will be different, but there'll be Amar. Yeah.
Just to wrap it up, and the final question, you mentioned that Shekhawat people have just met and they got excited about seeing you in an avatar they have never seen you before. You come across as very mellow, very mild. Shekhawat is the complete opposite of how I am seeing you on screen right now. And of course, it must have been fun to play with it, because it is just so fun when you get a wacky, eccentric character. But without revealing anything, since people are excited, what new will we see in Shekhawat in part 2? What are the things that we will see?
What new you will see? Everything you'll see about him will be new.
Right.
Yeah, he's not where you left him. He's prepared now.
Right. More dangerous, rather.
Wait for it. Yeah.
Okay. I'll stop it there. Thanks for this, Fahadh. Thanks for
thank you,
wonderful film. I enjoyed it completely.
Thank you.
I hope viewers do as well across the country as they have in theaters till now. And looking forward to speaking with you soon. And hoping that our conversation does not make you as not uncomfortable.
No. You didn't ask me much about what I do. You asked me about things what I my process, which was
I think what you do is out there on the screen. I don't need to ask about that. I need to watch it. So it's more about the process than how did you feel doing it. That's pretty much it. Thanks for this, Fahadh. It's been wonderful, and all the best. Hoping to chat with you in person maybe sometime. Thank you.
Inshallah.